From the Institute's illustrious beginnings, we achieved an astounding early era. From our astounding early era, we progressed to a remarkable, if not tumultuous phase. Now, from that remarkable, tumultuous phase, the Quintilian Institute is off to bigger, better, even unparalleled things. Welcome back, dear adoring public, to the Quintilian Institute of Words About Words. Of course, I mean welcome back to the Quintilian Institute that lives in our hearts. As you can see, we're in a bit of a transitional phase. The Institute continues to grow and to produce rediscoveries of ancient words about words at a nearly alarming rate. So, to accommodate the expansion of our expert research teams and administrative staff, we've decided to relocate to a state-of-the-art facility for rediscovering words about words. That and the stink of former junior staff was too deep in the carpets to remove, and in our collective best interest, I decided it was in fact best to move the Institute somewhere with fresher air and none of the bad memories. But I know that's not why you're here. Even in this time of transition, we remain hard at work, and I'm pleased to present our newest rediscovery with you, a true classic, Anadiplosis. Anadiplosis, of course, is a word about words that appear at the end of a clause, sentence, or line, and then get repeated at the beginning of the following clause, sentence, or line. Like when you swallow a cat to catch a bird you swallow to catch a spider you swallowed to catch a fly. Or maybe when you find yourself giving an annual pep talk to your research staff who think relocating an entire research institute is as unnecessary as it is petty. The Quintilian Institute is an institution of greatness. Our greatness is rooted in our founding mission. Our mission, of course, is to rediscover ancient words about words, and those words about words have immeasurable cultural value. What cultural value would be lost, then, if we failed to relocate, failed to embrace the opportunity of a bright future? For that bright future's sake, I am excited to invite you to join me in a new start for the Institute and for each one of us. For a moment, it was looking like research acumen didn't entail common sense, but rest assured the staff has been swayed. Thus, the boxes you see behind me. Now, because the repetition in Anadiplosis binds the ends and beginnings of grammatical units so strongly, there's a great opportunity to combine Anadiplosis with our old friends' parallel structure and climax in order to create a strong sense of necessary and powerful crescendo. Like with the familiar axiom, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to a career in philosophy. In a case like that, lesser things build to larger things, and the repetition reinforces and reasserts the causal links between each step. Consider, for example, how different it would feel if it were written like this. Fear leads to anger, which leads to hate, and that leads someone to a career in philosophy. It feels less certain, less authoritative, and as I'm sure we've mentioned before, Anadiplosis is an artificial thing, meaning produced by artifice, and the more artificial a technique is, the more intentional it will sound. It's just not going to sound off the cuff if you've taken the time to arrange your clauses so that key words show up at the ends and beginnings of adjacent clauses. Of course, it's important to note that your Anadiploses may take many forms. They needn't be strict repetitions of a single word separated by a period or comma. You know, after all, how writers can be. So it's common to see repetitions not just of words, but of larger phrases. I once purchased a whole truck of bubblegum and kazoos. A whole truck of bubblegum and kazoos is not something one should purchase. And it's possible to have slight variations or minor intervening words. Not only can it help you to maintain functional English grammar, but it can also help to mute the overly insistent force of pure anadiplotic repetition. We owe a lot to the Quintilian Institute. After all, it's the Quintilian Institute and its intrepid director, if I may be so bold, that elevates us beyond the mundane world of discovery and into the noble sphere of rhetorical rediscovery. And it may be a bit gauche to keep quoting from my annual pep talk to the research staff, but it really was some of my better work. I'm sure you understand. In fact, I'm so sure you understand that we'll wrap up our presentation here. There are, after all, a whole lot of boxes for the staff to move out of here. So with that, I'll offer my gratitude and the gratitude of all of us here at the Institute for your generous support. Support that comes in many forms. Whether you leave a like, share a comment, or even subscribe, we appreciate it. We appreciate it, too, when you choose to support the Institute by becoming a channel member and QI booster. Although, let's be honest, the RSI probably needs it more. Either way, I'm off. Thanks again for joining us for this exciting announcement, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next report, live from our state-of-the-art new home. And, of course, by live, I do mean pre-recorded, as always.